Okay, last one. Okay, we're back together again. Double check, make sure it goes both ways. Appears to be working. Okay. So now we gotta do the next spoke. So you'll make sure your hub is centered up pretty close to where it needs to be. Eyeball this. Appears to be pretty even. So we're laying right on this edge here. So if you lay this edge up with the rim face, and you look how offset the hub is, it's about a 1/4 inch inside the rim here. And see this other one's about the same identical spot right here. So that means that when you lay it flat on a table, the hub will be right where it belongs on the rim. And that's very important because that determines where the spokes go next. Now, where's our valve stem at? I get on the right side this time. See, my hole's right here, see? Okay, center the hub up like this. So basically take all your spokes and just kind of push them until about all equal distance. That means all of these sticking out about the same amount all the way around. That means you're pretty equal distance. That'll put the hub pretty much in the center. Okay, now you got to put the spokes in here. So we can go either left or right with this, depending on which way you want to go. Make sure you're on the bottom hole, not on the upper hole. So you go like this, lay it across this way. See if it lines up. In this case here, I caught it first time right there. If you go the other direction, see it lines up with the one that's going this way. See that nipple's going that way there? Doesn't line up very well. If you try to push it way over to here, it obviously doesn't work either. And it's not going to make it to there. Now if you had this hub in a different location this way, it could change your pattern a little bit and actually make it line up where it's correct, even though it wouldn't be. See, this one lines up perfectly right here, so we're going to stick the nipple over there. Okay, now this spoke can very easily be in this other hole right here. This spoke, instead of being going this way, could be over here going that way. But it would not be in this hole here. It would not be in this hole here. It would be in the hole over here. It would line up. So if you had this spoke like this, see, it would go over here. One of these other ones. See that one right there? Goes right like that. That's if you moved over a notch. See, this one here does not line up if you go to here. It's not going to make it to there, but it would make it if you went to here. So it's just a matter which way you go with these things. It doesn't really matter how it goes, just you have to figure out which way it goes. And the next problem is, can I get all of these spokes in here without having a problem? Without scratching your rim? Maybe. Okay, that one goes right to there, and that one lines up. If we keep fighting the direction, see how the spoke's in the way each time? So if you go this direction over here, like this, there's no spokes in the way. You bring it around to clear the rim, see, it's clear. Fold over and drop down, you're good. So just let those drop like that and they'll be out of the way. So I can also very easily be screwing these in right now, but it's hard to do that and do the camera. We can actually see something here. Right here, a little bit tight on the rim. So you go like that. Okay, now what I want to see is if I can put this spoke here in, after I get all those in. It appears it goes in there really nice, and I can lay it in where I want it to. See how it doesn't line up on that one? Actually, it does line up with that one. It does not line up over here, see? I could put it over here, but see how long the spoke would be? It would be way too long. Which means if I went over to here, it would be too short if I had the wrong spot. Okay, so I'm going to put that in that spoke there, and that will be the correct pattern, see? Okay, for now I'm going to leave that out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and put all these other ones in. We're just double checking the pattern, make sure it's correct. It's also across 4 again. You go 1, 2, 3, and then one more for 4 over here. We haven't put the fourth one in yet, so we better put that in first. Otherwise, we'll not be able to put the rim together. Now I can put this one in. See how it lines up over here. See, I crossed 1, 2, 3, 4. I only got 2 of them installed right now, but the other 2 are just laying down. Now, the ones that are laid down, you can always bring up whenever you want to, because there's no other spokes in the middle. But this one would be a problem. You'd have to pull this one out. If you put this one in right now, you cannot put this one in. You have to flip them. So you have to pull this back out to put this one in, and vice versa. So if you get stuck and the spoke's in the way, take the spoke back out. Don't fight it. You don't have to fight this stuff if you don't want to. But if you like to fight it, the wheel will definitely fight you if you're doing it wrong. Alright, so I got those in there right now. You see the pattern's already set. So everything looks like it's going in nicely right now. See, the spoke sticks through about that far. You go over here. That one sticks through about that far. See, all of these are roughly about the same right now, give or take a little bit. Remember, the hook's not center right now. It can move. But if you have something sticking out way more on one side than the other side, then your pattern's wrong. Back up and fix it. Okay, so I got that all set. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. So the bottom row is the hardest one right now, so I'm going to do this first. You have to clear everything. If I lift the hub up a little bit, it gives me room to make it in, to go in easier. I'm going to do all of these right now. Lift the hub up. Gives me the clearance, see? You see, I'm not into putting tape on everything. I don't like that. If you put a couple scratches in there, oh well. So we don't do show bikes around here. We do fast bikes. That means I don't scratch things up on purpose, but I don't lose any sleep if I do. Nipple in that hole already. Okay, so we got half that row in and one here. So now all these other ones I'll just lay on across. Find your hole. Lay your pattern in, it lays right on where it belongs. See, I'm not fighting anything. It goes right in. If you want to go in from this direction, see how it doesn't go through the hole this way? It goes in through this way. Have to move it about a 1/16 of an inch for the spoke to drop in the hole. It's tight. Now if I go in this other direction this way, see I keep fighting this one spoke every time I come in this way. The spoke's in the way. So if you go the other direction, like this, there's no spoke here in the way, see? So it goes a little easier. See, I don't have to fight that other spoke. So if you're having a little problem going one direction, nobody says you can't go the other direction. Come in from that way. See how it just drops in there a little easier? About a 1/4 inch off right now over here for whatever reason. Not sure why it's doing that, but probably because the hub's in the wrong spot slightly. Well, we'll see how it looks here in a few minutes. Once you lace it up, you'll see what things are off and what you need to do to make them fit. Look how I have to keep moving these out so far. He maybe wants me to go to the next row over here, would make it easier. Don't know. I'm in this row. See if the pattern doesn't look right, we'll have to play with it, take it back off, redo it. See how much I'm fighting this one right here? Each time I put them in there, it's pretty far over. See, but this one over here looks about the same distance from the rim. See, you get about 3/8 of an inch there. Over here, you got about a 1/2 inch of thread. So it's about the same all the way around. So my offset's pretty close. It's just it wants to fight me. Okay, so all the spokes are in about the same distance. Same deal, you want to make sure the hub goes back and forth plenty of distance where you can adjust it. See, if it floats back and forth real nice, that's good. That means nothing's bound up. We got up and down also. So nothing's really fighting us. So we got a little difference in length of spokes here a little bit. You are going to get some variations in spoke heights. See how this is our biggest difference is these two here. So yeah, there's a slight change in offset someplace causing some problems. That's common. Spokes are usually not perfect length, so they are what they are. Now we just put it the other direction this way, and see how this row here now is longer than the top row? That's because the hub's offset a long ways. See how the offset's almost flush right here, which means we have this much more offset in the rim. We don't run it in that position, so we don't care about that. So we run it down to this position here, which is more or less straight. Okay, so there you go. We got it all laced up. It's close enough. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the nipples. I'm going to run them in until they're flush with the thread right here, if they'll go that far. We'll find out. That's called roughing it in. So I usually start at my valve stem hole, which is right here. If you always start at a common spot, you know where you're at. If you want to jump ahead and see if your pattern's right, you jump 180 across and see if you can do the spokes in the same amount of thread. If it does, then you're okay. If it doesn't, then you got a problem. So I don't feel like jumping ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Do the job. My screwdriver is getting worn out after many years of doing this. You're getting a little rounded off, so you get a little bit harder to spin these in as quickly as they used to. New spokes have Allens on the back side here, so you can use an Allen wrench to do this instead of a screwdriver. Buchanan still does it the old way. The import spokes don't. Now, if you don't do this part evenly, when you go to true the rim, you'll be fighting it. A lot of up and down, a lot of side to side movement. If your rim is bent, you'll have a lot of fun with that too. Now, this was a used genuine Harley rim. It's got the curl on the lip here. Early ones. The 70s rims have more of a curl to them. The aftermarket rims are similar to this too. Get about the same amount of lip. This rim was a lot. I think it's an OE rim, but it might be an early repop. But it's pretty thick steel, so I think it's original. It's close enough for me. The back rim is a repop because it's, of course, not original because I cut a 4-inch rim back there, so I decided to go with this one so it matches. It has about the same curl to it. So if it's not original, I'm not losing any sleep over it because it matches the back wheel better. It is a drag bike, so yeah, we are going to abuse it. It gets damaged from bouncing off stuff or doing wheelies. I'm not going to concern myself too much about it. Of course, that usually doesn't bend a 16-inch rim. Okay, I'm almost all the way around right now, and I have no problem putting the spokes in as far as I am. 2 more to go here. There you go. Still got clearance in it, just not as much, see? Still moves. So all the spokes equally length. The hub is still sitting right where I want it, right in the middle. Right where it belongs, see? It's pretty close. The extra weight here is still kicking it over that way a little bit, but it's pretty close. So now we still got this nipple sticking up pretty good. So all the way around they're sticking up a little bit. See? Some more than others, but close. So now we determine how much more we want to tighten each nipple, and we can do that. So easy, you go like 2 turns or 3 turns and do that. Usually I go like this time, so it's you're not fighting the weight of the wheel. But you can also still do it on the table if you want. Depends on how you want to do things. So if you want to do it back on here, we can do it this way. Where'd my hole go? There's my hole. So 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'd be 2 full turns. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. Engage the spoke. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's going to take more than this to do it. I think we're going to need at least 3 turns minimum. I'm going to go back and give it another turn on each one. Okay, did I do that one yet or not? Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm going to be a while, so I'll be back. Back in a few minutes.